So poops, the other day I talked to you about menegakkan benang yang basah. Well, this time, you're not in the firing line, IIUM is. So poops, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing was not actually said by Edmund Burke. Not that would matter to our most qualified professor since, well, her university is doing basically nothing. So poops, you might think that this lady has been sharing her hashtag groundbreaking, discredited, claims about Malays teaching the Romans and flying and kung fuing only recently. But no, she's been doing this for a long time. For years, she has been sharing this, and we only get the benefit of talking about this because now it's viral. And there we go, the pattern is always the same. ASA urges the university to take firm action. Don't damage our reputation. Teguh memimpin. And the university comes out with a strongly worded statement. We have taken appropriate action. We must protect the code of ethics for staff of institutions of higher education, which basically means doing nothing. And so it was for an entire year as the TikTok videos continued and continued. And adding to this wonderful cocktail of racist echo chamber formation, pseudoscience propagation, we now have the flying Malays and grand shipbuilding hypothesis. And through all this, IIUM is reviewing, distancing, and concluding that her remarks were made in a personal capacity and do not reflect IIUM's official stance, which again is basically doing nothing. Not I would know what IIUM's stance is given that its newsroom website is not updated or it is broken. But yeah, this sounds a lot to me like an excuse to do nothing. And you know, I'm not the only sapoop to have noticed this, but like Prof. Ramasamy, Munira have made statements to which the university has been awfully quiet, saying nothing, distancing. But I have to ask, right? If you're doing nothing when somebody is literally creating a following with fake news, sources that nobody checks, and building a generation of people who all worship her, throw money at her, but end up stupider as a result, then are you not basically just protecting her? I mean, come on bro. By anyone's standards, that is a weak-ass vanilla cat response. It is her opinion. Academic freedom. I mean bro, why don't you just go right ahead and admit that the real product of IIUM thing is actually true and your students are all going to end up like that? I mean, am I wrong in saying that? There are so many other things that you could do, like formally warn or reprimand her. 3 strikes you're out will cancel your tenure, suspend her from actually teaching, terminate employment and get her out of the IIUM website because she's spreading fake news? I mean bro, I don't think she's fabricating sources, but they are inaccessible. Her audience doesn't read the sources. She claims she's an authority on history, but all she studied is Arabic language studies and grammar. Although speaking of grammar, apparently she doesn't know the difference between its and it''s. She creates a myth that she disguises as research, builds a captive audience that hangs on to her every word, and that even frames any opposition as Malays against pendatangs, making it all about race when at the end of the day, the most important thing is that whatever your jati diri, you're not going out and accepting fake news as ground absolute reality. Look, if your civilization is really that amazing, it is so great, I don't think there's any need to talk about how it is horrible, it sucks. If it really were so amazing, then you would have evidence, text, scholarship, which ironically, a lot of these people talk about calling Orientalist scholarship. Wow, by the way, their beloved Professor Solehah has now apparently become a hashtag English speaker, referring to, oh, what's this? Seems like they are rather penjajah sources, one after another. Maybe I should also ask AI what's an Ashurian? If someone spelled Assyrian as Asturian, what would that mean? But yeah, TLDR, IIUM could do way more than just declaring that this is just her personal opinion. It should do more. The fake news that she's sharing at the moment is very obviously giving rise to racism, causing people to unite, telling themselves that they are learning history. Basically, she's just making use of her academic reputation as a professor, her publications, to go out, make bank, become popular on social media, and collect an army of simps. I know academic freedom is a thing, and the line between academic freedom and actual lies is not always clear, but really, defending, protecting, or facilitating this woman is like defending a toilet seat as a piece of art. Although apparently one toilet is very famous and another is worth more than tens of billions of dollars. So, But I suppose IIUM is also in a do or die situation. If they say nothing, then people like me are gonna go out and crucify them time and time again. But if they do something and they do get rid of her, then for all you know, the whole horde of her cult-like supporters will storm IIUM, scream that it is a university, barwa, storm the halls, and the next thing you know, we will have yet another Columbia University with people waving flags of foreign entities, maybe this time with her face on it. But yeah, if IIUM genuinely believes in actual, real scholarship, it can't just be protecting people and declaring that, oh, it's all their personal opinion. It doesn't work that way. You can't have your cake and have eaten it too. Alright, that's all to say about that, and bye.